Perfect. All right, guys, welcome to the call. There you go. Okay, cool. Right, what guys, welcome to the call. My name is Gaurav Season, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm excited for today's call. Reason being is because we have a special guest who's gonna go over one of the most of the like problems that we get, okay, which is a smaller time frame entries. And I believe after this call, we're all gonna be different. We're all gonna elevate. We're all gonna level up within our belief, within our trading, and just how we operate as a trader. So I'm super fired up for this. I've been fired up for like a week now, and I know my special guest has been fired up for more than a week as well. So I just can't wait to get started. Okay, so before I do bring him on, I just wanted to kind of go over one aspect of things. Okay, and that is the attitude of learning. Okay, this is something that I really hold closely to myself, to my heart. The reason why is because we're always learning. Okay, no matter what position you are, no matter what income you're at, whether that's a very small amount, whether that's a very big amount, we're always learning, we're always elevating. And if you're not growing, if you're not learning, you're dying. That's just the truth. So for us, it's very important that we need to learn, we need to keep going and growing as a trader. So for me, when it comes to it, as I said, I call this topic the attitude of learning. Okay, and what I really want you to do, especially for the newbies on the call, okay, if you have not seen any results here whatsoever, I want you to ask yourself this question: what are you, give me a second, what are you feeling, what are you thinking when you're on Go Live? Okay, when you're on perfect. Okay. So when you're on Go Live, when you're learning, when you're on the charts, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? Because you see, that thinking, that feeling is what's going to determine your outcome, your results right there and then. Are you going to absorb the information that's being taught in front of you, or are you just going to reflect it back? Because you see, for me, this was a massive hurdle that I had to overcome. When I was on the chart, I was thinking, I'm not getting it. I can't get this. I can't get this. And right there and then, that's where I failed. It wasn't because I wasn't plugging in, I was plugging in. It wasn't because I wasn't putting in the hours, I was putting in the hours. It was because my mindset, my mental attitude was not open to absorb the information that was in front of me. So straight away, when the information was coming to me, I was deflecting it. So nothing was coming in my head. So what are you thinking? What are you feeling when you're on these calls? Okay, and when it comes to it, to me, the type of trading that we're doing right now is very different. It's very new. Okay, so this kind of stuff, there's two ways to it. I like to see it one way, where you're just copying and pasting. There in that section, less of the skill set is required, because you're just seeing numbers, you're copying and you're pasting it. For the mad ones, for the crazy traders who's learning the skill set for themselves, so they can have that skill set for life, this is where this kind of information is very crucial to you. And this is why I'm also holding this kind of calls, because David Imnite, one of our mentors, he always talks about having that belief system. And this is where, again, it gets very different, because the society, they will tell you seeing is believing, whereas here, the entrepreneurial journey, the journey of a trader, believing is seeing. Okay, it's because we believe in the strategies, because we believe in ourselves, that we're going to see the results. Okay, and that's what's also not gonna that's what's gonna keep us going. Okay, and not quit when we're not seeing the results, because we're not using that seeing is believing concept. Okay, so that's the number one. The second thing I wanted to kind of just put out there is, we see a lot of people. Okay, when your favorite rapper, or when you hear your favorite song, or when you just came across your new favorite song, how many times do you go over and over and over and listen to the same song? Okay, how many times? But if I was to tell you, you need to do the same thing for Go Live, why are you not doing it? Okay, why are you not going through Go Live's favorite sessions, favorite videos again and again and again, just like how you would if this was your favorite song? All right, so stop giving in to the entertainment. We use the same resources. Okay, you have internet. Stop using internet for you to go on YouTube, for you to go on Instagram, but use the same internet for you to learn about a skill set, for you to carry on learning. Okay, we've got a smartphone. Again, stop like using your phone for you to, I don't know, waste time. I don't know, maybe chat to your friends about something that happened, maybe about the football game, maybe about this, maybe about that, when you can use the same thing to learn how MT4 works, or how this works, or how that works. Okay, so yes, we have all of these resources around us, but it's not about that. It's about you being resourceful. Okay, it's about you knowing how to use those things to your advantage. Okay, so that's the second thing I want to talk about. The third thing is, okay, how can we overcome that? How can we have that good mental attitude when we're plugged into these kind of calls, when we're plugged into Go Live, when we're plugged in on the charts? Well, it all comes down to visualization, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk about before I introduce my my special guest. So it all comes down with visualization. So start with the end in mind. Okay, sit down for 5-10 minutes and think about where you would like to be 8 months from now, okay, 10 months from now. But I want you to understand something. The timing aspect of this does not matter at all. It's you seeing that picture, okay? It's you seeing that clear mental picture in your mind. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to picture yourself as your goal, okay? If you're a 6-figure trader, if you want to be a 7-figure trader, an 8-figure trader. And then the second thing I want you to do is I want you to look at what characteristics do they hold. Okay, and then the last thing I want you to do is I want you to bring that future self into the present self. Okay, so for example, if you see a 7-figure trader going for a jog every single morning, do that now, do that today, because that's what's gonna keep you going until you get that result. Okay, if you see your 7-figure self, maybe eating clean, start eating clean now. You see, you need to be, do, and then have. You don't need to have, do, and then be. A lot of people, we have this mentality that, oh, I need to have time for me to do trading, for me to be successful. I need to have money for me to do this trading thing, for me to then be successful. It's actually the other way around. It's be, do, have. Okay, so again, I'm gonna keep my nuggets very, very short so you guys can take it, start implementing it, and then to really change your life, really change your trading journey. So as I said, guys, this is it from me. But speaking on the topic of being resources, okay, this is how I actually came across my special guest today, because I was being resourceful. You see, I was not meant to know this individual. I was being resourceful. So I was again on Instagram and I saw that the Traders Empire was doing a bootcamp trading session. I said, you know what, I need to be on that. So guess what? When days came by, I was literally hunting the Zoom link, everything, the password and everything. Days came, I changed my name on Zoom, I changed my picture and everything, and just plugged in. And again, we went through so many other traders. I believe it was a 5-day boot camp. We had so many amazing people. We had Mohammed, we had Wally, we had Child of Hips and stuff like that. So, and then we came across this individual, and again, it blew me away because of how he trades. Okay, and for me, I really like to look at a person based on their charts. All right, based on the charts, I think that tells you a lot. If this person's got a clean chart, if this person's got a clean, not too much going on their chart. So as I said, guys, this was me being resourceful, and then that's how we connected. That's how me and my special guest, we connected. And then ever since, I've been watching him grow on Instagram. Okay, I've been watching him, taking these trades, killing it here, killing it there, and it's just been amazing to watch this person grow. And then again, without hesitation, when I asked him, I said, hey bro, look, can you be on my call and for you to share your story, for you to just impact these people? He said, yeah bro, let's go. Okay, so when I do bring him on in a minute, guys, please give him that welcome that he deserves, because I'm not paying him. IAM is not paying him. His upline is not paying him. He is here purely by himself. Okay, he's giving his time. He's giving his special secret. So if you don't have a pen and paper here, listen, you're losing now. Okay, and go grab yourself a pen and paper and really tune in. Okay, put your phone on do not disturb, turn it off if you have to, but really tune in, because I promise you, after this call, you're going to be different. So without further ado, let me see if I can find him super quick. Let me bring on my brother. There you go. I'm gonna make host. Okay, perfect, bro. Evan, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna spotlight you. Okay, cool, bro. Take it away, man.
Lovely stuff. So, first of all, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone's on the call. I know there's a lot of people in various different teams. They're all winners at the end of the day. Everyone's going to be a winner. But the real successful people, because there's a difference between being a winner and being successful. Being a winner is accepting these opportunities that are given to you. But being successful is by being or having that ability to use what you have, tying into the resourcefulness that was just mentioned, being resourceful with the opportunity you have, to make something out of it at the end of the day. So I just want to thank everyone for jumping on the call, because I know people have different commitments, so taking the time out to be on this call means a lot to me, and obviously I'm hoping you guys can pick up whatever nuggets you can. So I just want to give like a quick background story to me. My name's Evan. I was going to say 19. I just turned 20 last week, and my journey through trading. I'll start how I first found trading. Anyway, I'm nothing special. I'm just a normal kid, and I knew that I wanted to do something with my life. I knew I wanted to be successful. I knew there was more than just going to school, going to work, and retiring and being dead. There's way more to life than that. And this is where a lot of your reason why comes in. I'm sure a lot of you have bucket list things that you want to do, and none of those things can be achieved if you don't gain some sort of success in your life. So I was striving for that success at the end of the day, and I stumbled across many different things, but trading was the one that stuck, really. And I was introduced to this individual company. When was it? Last February last year. So I've been in a business for roughly a year and a half or so now. And I'm not going to lie, it's been a very rocky journey. From the start, I plugged into everything, plugged into Golive, plugged into the academy to start with. And I went through the academy probably twice before I actually did anything, just to make sure I understood what I was getting myself into. I had some previous knowledge of trading, but nothing too major at all. But it all started with, and I'm going to be as raw as possible. It all started with a blown account, as everyone starts with, using what I've learned from the academy and my, me being new to trading, me being new to placing trades. I blew an account, as everyone does, or the majority of people do. And I was like, hang on a minute, this is like, I shouldn't be messing with this kind of money if I have no idea what I'm doing with it. And that's when I started to really think, like, I've taken this opportunity. Why am I not making the most of the resources around me? Why am I not making the most of the Go Lives, the academy, the various different products, the people around me, my team? I've got unbelievable mentors that I could learn from, unbelievable people in the team. The host calls every single week. Why am I not like being in that position where I'm getting that success? But that wasn't just a switch for me. I tried so many different strategies, and at the end of the day, every single strategy works. Every single trading strategy, every single networking strategy works. But you have to make it work for you at the end of the day. And there were certain strategies where some people, even in my team, are doing successful with, like break and retest. I know that's a very or commonly used strategy. I couldn't do break and retest. I know it's the most simple thing, but I couldn't do break and retest. There were so many other strategies as well that I just couldn't do. I have no idea why. And this was sort of about, I say I'd stick to a strategy for about 2 months, and move on to another strategy. And I'm sticking with the realness. I didn't make a single penny in this business for probably 8 months. And I don't think many people, especially I'm a uni student, not many uni students have much money. There's a common stereotype where people eat pot noodles and all of this in uni. Not many uni students have much money, and to be able to stick around for this long, I don't think many people would have done it. And that's something that kept to me. I was thinking to myself, like, there's a reason why I'm still here. There's a reason why I haven't given up. And that's where things started to turn around. I found institutional trading, or smart money concepts, or whatever you want to call it, through, when was it? It was probably September last year. And it was just one of the team's calls. It was like an introduction to smart money. And that's where things started to turn, but nothing like it is now. The people in the team, I don't know whether they're on the call or not, they know since like the first or the past couple of weeks how we've been doing. But I'm not going to give any of that away. But at the end of the day, we started with smart money, we started with institutional trading. And even then, I was still taking crazy losses. And I was thinking, is this something people are keeping to themselves that they're not telling anyone? Or is there some secret source that I have no idea about? And that's when I started to take this business seriously, really. Nothing to do with networking, just 100% trading, 100% committed to learning the skill set that will eventually pay me for life. But before I go into, because I want to see if I can fit in a chart at the end, just to go through a chart. But I want to touch on a couple of mindset things, because I know Golive is amazing to learn the theory and to see it being applied. And I say to my team pretty much every single week that Golive is hands down the best product you could ever get or ever study from. And I say that there's nothing that comes close, honestly. And I spent, I had a couple, when was it? I had about 6 weeks off at Christmas. Every single day, I watched all of the trade house educators, all of the steady educators, every single day for 6 weeks straight. And that's where things started to turn a bit more. But one thing that I want to touch on is patience, and I'll go on to patience more a bit later on, but as there's two different types of patience I want to go over. The first patience is being able to stand the test of time, not just like, I don't know, being patient within trading, which I'll go on to later, but being patient as in how long are you willing to stick it out for before you get results? How long are you willing to invest in yourself? How much time you're willing to invest in yourself to be able to learn all these different parts of one skill set? And if your answer is less than, I don't know, 5 years, then you may as well quit. I'm willing to spend 5 years of my life perfecting a skill set that will pay me for the rest of my life. And if anyone else thinks any different or any less, then I don't think this business is for you. And I don't mean to sound harsh or anything like that, but at the end of the day, if you're not willing to treat this like a business, if you're not willing to treat this like a job, then you're not going to get paid like a business or a job. So that's the first one I wanted to cover, patience. The other one is discipline. Everyone throws the word discipline around, but being able to stick to, or discipline and consistency go hand in hand pretty much. Being able to stick to a plan and being able to not let anything get in the way. So I've spent thousands of nights in where my friends have gone nights out. I've spent so much time inside studying the charts, back testing things from previous weeks, or like watching very, very old Golive videos. And that's all because I was disciplined to working on my skill set. The other thing is consistency as well. Nothing will ever happen. You'll never get that breakthrough without consistency. So being able to stick to that plan for a long period of time. If you can't, then again, this industry is not for you. But for those of you who are willing to take or spend as long as it needs for this industry to work, then I'm hoping you're all on the call now. If you're not, then you know. And so I want to go back to my timeline of when things started happening, really. So it was probably February this year. I started to take a little bit of a downward turn, get a bit of a pullback going in my trading career. And I was wondering, I was speaking to a couple of my closest friends in the industry, and I was like, honestly, I don't know whether this is for me. I thought I was this close to being where I wanted to be. And it all just, I don't know what really happened. It all just crumbled again. And it was all about, I don't even know. I couldn't explain. There's no words to describe how I was feeling back then. And they say that when you're just about to give up, that is when you're closest to achieving what you want to achieve. And that was it. And there was one conversation with one of my mentors. I drove to his house. I picked him up and we sat in my car for a couple of hours. And this guy, I don't want to, his name's already been mentioned anyway. I was sat in my car with Wally. I'm watching him mark charts, and like I've said to people in my team, watching him mark charts is like watching an artist paint a picture. And that's how I wanted to be. I wanted to be that good that when people watch me mark charts, they think the same thing. They think, oh, like it's so soothing to watch. It was like watching him was like watching Bob Ross paint a picture. And I wanted to be like that. So, and there was one conversation, literally 2 lines in that car that was said that literally changed everything. And I asked him, "You make this look so easy." And he turns to me with a smile on his face, his MT4 open. I'm not gonna mention what was on it. And he turned to me and he just smiles and says, "It's because it is easy." And just one thing, one sentence like that changed everything. I realized so much in that 1 second of him saying that sentence, that I've pretty much been doing everything wrong the whole time. It felt like, to me anyway. I felt like not just me, but everyone was trying to overcomplicate everything, purely because this industry is very, very lucrative, and there's a lot to risk and a lot to gain from this industry. You automatically think, like, this has to be complicated. If it was easy, why wouldn't more people be doing it? And the fact is that once you understand the concepts, it's easy. And there'd be people listening to this that are like I disagree. But at the end of the day, or for my personal experience, I knew exactly what I needed to do from then, and that's pretty much what we've been doing. And this is where more of the mindset side and the emotional side, trading psychology, comes into play, is because once you master trading psychology, then you finally become a real trader. Congratulations, welcome to the real world. But if you're not getting those results, the first thing I would start with is trading psychology, because everyone had the same platform as me. If I can do it, anyone can do it, really. And if everyone like implemented the same things that I did from Golive, from the different products, then everyone should be at the same point as me. The only thing that differs between person to person is what's going on mindset-wise, and there's a couple things. I'll go on to patience when it comes to trading as well, because patience is one of the biggest things when it comes to actually entering the market, charting up. And I know this call is probably a lot more trading related than other calls that maybe previously been done. But at the end of the day, people need guidance trading. People need help, and that's what I'm going to keep it to. So when it comes to trading, patience is the biggest thing. I've said from the start that the Forex markets, or any market that you get into, is the transfer of wealth from the patient, from the impatient, to the patient. And Forex is one of the biggest examples. Is if you're not patient and if you're rushing into things, then you may as well put all your money on red at the casino. But when it comes to understanding, once you understand that patience is very, very important, you'll start taking less trades in a week, you'll start taking less losses. And that's where your true skill will come out, because you have the skill already. It's just being patient and waiting for the right opportunities to come up. And if you're not going to wait for that right opportunity, you're gonna take a lot of losses. And that's what I did for the first 8 to 12 months of being in this business. And I can't even say that I'm a master at patience now. There's still trades that I get into early. I get fear of missing out, and it's all common. Like, you may not know you have it, or if people haven't been trading for that long, and may not think they have fear of missing out, or they may not go through all of their entering scenarios. Like, they may not go through what lot size they're going to put on based on the pairs that you're trading. And once people start understanding patience, they'll start seeing those changes in the market. They'll start understanding things on a better level. Understanding why these moves happen is one of the other main things. If you don't know on a chart what's happened previously, how are you going to know what's going to happen in the future? So back testing is probably one of the only things that improve my trading skill instead of the psychological side. Going through, even if it's setups that you see on social media that aren't even your own, go through and think why they've entered here. What's this, like, why is this entry a buy or a sell? Even the simplest things like what direction the market's going in the trade can help a lot when it comes to getting those high risk rewards. And yeah, I think I'm going to move on to the risk reward section, because I know that's what a lot of people know of me if they won the Traders Empire bootcamp. They saw the risk rewards that was on there, but there's only so much reducing the stop loss that you can do, and that's one thing. I took a stop loss yesterday on a pair just because of spreads, and because my stop loss was very, very small, and that was my fault because of the time I took the trade in the night. And for everyone in the UK, everyone knows that trading in the night, the spreads are crazy. And my trade literally entered and exited in the space of a second, because I set a limit earlier on in the day, and I basically didn't even get a chance to look at the trade before I took the L. But there's one thing as well that I'll say is that don't be afraid to take losses, and the mindset shift of understanding losses in general. For me, and this is one thing that I've seen other people talk about as well, but for me it's slightly different, is that because I know that there's going to be a huge risk reward trade around the corner, I'm not too fussed on taking losses. And that's the mindset shift that you need, is that you want that consistency. Going back to consistency, being able to stick to your plan for a long period of time. There's still consistency in the market. People wonder how long you've been killing it in the game. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of, well, that's one question a lot of people have asked me, is how long am I able to keep this up? A lot of people are wondering when I'm gonna start losing, or when I'm gonna dip out. And the answer is I'm not. And I started from the 1st of July a trading journal just from then, because people wanted me to track the trades that I go over on calls, just to see what happens. And in a month, purely compounding, we hit a 5-figure percentage month, but that's just from compounding. It was probably about 1,000% if you're just adding the percentages up, but that's purely based on getting your risk reward down. If I just took the trades on the 1 hour or the 4 hour, then my risk reward would probably be about 2 or 3. But because I can get the stop loss so precise, or the entry so precise, there's not much, not much, what's it called, room for error in my trades. And you know when your trade's good or when your trade's not good in probably the matter of minutes, because otherwise you'll get stopped out. And that was the same with the trade I'll go over in a bit, is that you could tell when the market is going your way and when it's not. And the one thing as well, and this is probably one of the best nuggets that I'll probably ever give, so if you're writing things down, make sure you write this down, is that you want to wait for the market to tell you what it wants to do, instead of the other way around, instead of you telling the market what you want it to do. So I'll repeat that because it's just a jumble of words really. but you want to wait for the market to tell you what it wants to do. So you're waiting for the market to show you in candles where it wants to go, instead of you trying to tell the market what to do. And once you understand that, and once you implement that, the amount of losses that you take will fall very, very much. Because once you understand that you don't control the market, or you can't, there's nothing you can do to stop the market doing what it wants to do. Once you understand that, and once you're patient enough to wait for the market to tell you what it wants to do, then you'll be able to take a lot better entries, and you'll be able to turn away from the entries that you may have taken previously, but you're not going to take them because you can see what the market wants to do on lower time frames. And this, you can only really see this when you're taking small risk reward trades. You can only see this on the lower time frames. And that's probably, that is probably the biggest nugget I could give, is that you need to tell yourself that the market does what it wants to do. And no matter whether a pair correlates with a DXY, no matter what news comes out in a day, a pair will do what it wants at the end of the day. And there's no way you can stop that. And there's nothing, there's no way that I've found, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone on this call, there's no way to tell the market what you want it to do, unless you have unbelievably huge lot sizes, which I don't think any of us do. I don't know how much time I've got left, so if do you reckon I could share my screen for a bit of chat time?
Yeah, bro, you're good. I'm just gonna make you host, see if I can find you super quick. But you're good, man. If you wanna kind of go a little bit more, that's okay, man. We've got the time.
All right.
Now you should be able to share your screen.
Yeah. Where is it? There we go. If anyone has any questions as well, put them in the chat, because I want to answer people's questions. One thing as well, I just want a little bit of chat interaction. Can I, if you would ever get one-to-one mentoring from anyone that you would want, put a 1 in the chat. If you would take one-to-one mentoring off me, if you would take one-to-one mentoring off any of your mentors, put 1 in the chat. Nice, nice, nice. So everyone who just put a 1 in the chat, every single one of you should be asking a question at least once in any call that you're on. All of you people who just put 1 should be asking questions. I don't want to throw people into that trap, but you know how it goes. But I want to show this trade. CAD JPY. When was it? Yesterday. Yesterday night. And this was one of the trades that was sent out to the team, and it looks a bit mad at the moment, but I'll break it down. So every trade I'll start on a monthly time frame, just to see what price is doing. And as we can see, we've got a high here, low, and then low high, and then we've got sort of equal lows of here, but I still consider this bullish. And then we've broken below the low. So for me, we're bearish on CAD JPY, this one for the moment anyway. Jumping down to the weekly, this is where I tend to look for targets. And this candle here is my target. Everyone who studied smart money really knows why I've got that as a target. But I want to say that every time you're looking at the chart, you want to know why the moves are happening. So for this, or whenever you see, I don't know, any confirmations, why is this confirmation happening? What is trying to be achieved from what I'm looking at? So whether it's accumulation or distribution, anything Wyckoff, why is this happening? What is the agenda behind these moves? So the weekly, we can see a bit more bearishness, but just a little bit more in detail. I've got my long-term target for where price wants to go. Jumping down to the daily, we've got this last buy to sell here. We've sort of rounded off at the bottom and broken this structure on the daily. And this is important because I'm going to be looking for a buy later on to take us up to the target at the end of the day. But you can't see much in terms of structure here. And structure is a very, very important key when it comes to lower time frame entries and just entries in general. So I'll drop down to the 4 hour and you can start to see more structure. We broke structure to the highs. So for me, this is liquidity being built, a spring and a break of structure. So I'm expecting some sort of, I'm expecting price to come down here and give us a test of whatever our schematic or whatever is here. But as we can see, if I zoom in a bit, we've broken this low here. So for me, CAD JPY is bearish. Now we can start to look for entries. Jumping down to the 1 hour, where you can see a bit more. Price came up here and broke this structure. So on the weekly, the daily, and now the 4 hour, and now the hourly, we're all bearish. And now we're just waiting for entry. And this is where I do things slightly different to everyone else. Is that price came up to my candle here. This was my candle. For people who didn't know, this is what I would call an order block. And it's the candle that started the move down to either a new high or a new low. So I wait for price to come to my areas, and then we drop it down to lower time frame. This is a 5 minute. And I saw some liquidity being built here, and some sort of spring, a test. But as soon as we see this down here, and this is where order flow comes in as well. For people who don't know the difference between structure and order flow, structure is just what happens in the market, whether it goes up or down, the highs and lows of the market as well. Order flow is where candles are reacting from. And if where we saw this shows that price is still bullish on order flow, and therefore we're most likely going to continue bullish, and that's what we saw. We saw price come up here, break through this high again, and that's it pretty much. But what I was looking at for this trade was where is it? This candle here, this one, the last buy to sell here, and this is the 15-minute candle. But just because we broke structure here and broke structure here, so on the 4 hour and the 15-minute, we're bearish on both. I could see getting a test here and dropping. So this trade was market execution. It ends up giving, what's that, 30, 31, nearly 32, which is very, very close to on 3% risk. I'd take all of my trades on 3% risk. This is very close to doubling your account on 3% risk. Just in, let me give you the time frame as well. Where is it? There to there, 19 hours, nearly doubling the account in 19 hours. And this is where, when it comes to letting the market tell you what it wants to do, comes into play, is understanding that we're waiting, we're being patient for our entries, we're being patient to wait for the market to tell us what it wants to do. It wants to go lower than this low, like we're bearish. We come up here, it wants to go lower than this low, then we can start looking to take smaller and smaller entries. This one was slightly different because our market execution, but our market execution on this high, and it went down, came back up, gave me a little bit of a scare, but at the end of the day, we're all right at the moment. But that was just one chart. You can see on my watch list, I've got plenty of other charts that we can look through, and there was one trade on Euro AUD that we'll see on the results at the end of the week as well. So for people who don't know, I post the results from our Sunday calls, and we have a little running tally going in the team as well. So you may see that on my Instagram or whatever. But I want to dive more into the mindset side, because you'll see this anywhere. You'll see trades like this anywhere. But it's more understanding why the moves have happened. And you can see going from, I went literally from the monthly time frame down to the 5-minute time frame to look for an entry. And understanding what is happening in the market. So understanding, right, price has gone below this low, so it's giving us indication that it wants to be bearish, or it's going above this high, it wants to be bullish. Lower time frames, we're getting those same breaks of structure, it wants to be bearish. And understanding that if order flow and structure are not in the same group, so if order flow is bearish and structure is bullish, then you need to think a bit more about your entry or where you wanted to enter. Because I was going to enter over here, but because order flow was bullish still, then I cancelled the limit. That's it. But understanding how everything comes together as well, and the bounce back course, the new one, is unbelievable when it comes to like putting everything together in one. That's something I would highly recommend if people haven't been on those calls before. But if you guys have any questions, put them in, because I want to answer people's questions. But yeah, like I said, it's all about understanding why the moves are taking place. Knowing if I knew what I knew now back last year, or if people who were in the business that have quit knew what I know now, they'd still be in this business. But you have to be patient, you have to wait your turn. And I found that myself, that things may not happen straight away, but when they do happen, you'll be thankful you stayed, you'll be thankful you carried on with the opportunity, you'll be thankful for the hours that you put in, and you'll be grateful for just where you are. And it's been a crazy ride. I don't think people really understand the journey that I've been on, or Like even my friends, they still call me a scam, even though I show them charts all the time. But they still call me a scam. And there's people. That's one thing that I'll touch on as well. Is that some people you just can't please at the end of the day. And if you're willing to carry on with an opportunity, or carry on with trading, or even anything that you're doing, whether it's studying for a job, or studying for a degree, whatever, if you're willing to do things, even though other people are saying you're crazy, or you're stupid to be doing these things, then that's when you know that the passion is there. That's when you know that the drive is there, and all you have to do is be patient, consistent, and you'll eventually get to where you want to be. And I'm really a testament to that, because February this year, I was willing to let everything go. I was willing to just go back to a 9-to-5 job, finish my uni course, go back to a 9-to-5 job, and that would be it. My life's boring all the time. But there was something inside of me that wanted me to stay. And thankfully I did, because I've impacted quite a few people now. And it's not going to stop here. There's going to be plenty more people that I'll come across that I'm hoping to be able to help, or at least answer a question if a question needs answering. So with that, I think I may be done there. If anyone has any questions, again, drop them in the chat. Or if anyone has any questions, drop them in the chat. But if not, again, thank you guys for jumping on the call.
Wow.
But yeah.
Awesome. Honestly, bro, amazing call. Guys, go ahead and put a 7 if you've got some sort of value. If your mindset is currently different right now to what you came in, okay? Like, if you know this is it now, if you know this is your passion, if you know I'm not gonna give up, if you know you're not going to look left, right, but you're just gonna focus on your goals, focus on your vision, and go ahead. So I know definitely I've got massive nuggets. Okay, I've got massive notes that I'm ready to implement, and I do hope that you've got the same thing as well, because honestly, this call, no matter if you're a beginner, no matter if you're middle through your journey, if you've already hit your goal and then you're setting your second goal, it doesn't matter, because this call has impacted a lot of people. And bro, I just wanted to say, man, thank you, number one, obviously, for being on this call, but number two, man, I'm grateful for your journey. I wish I was there to tell you, hey bro, don't give up. I wish I was there to say, hey bro, look, listen, one day you're going to do a call with over 10-20 people, and then you're going to impact someone's life. So this will just go to say, guys, like, you might be a participant, but you never know. One day you could be a special guest for someone else. That's why you should never, ever give up. And I like the mentality that Evan has, because it's so crucial. You never know what's around the corner. You've got to go. One of the last thing that I'll leave you with is, if you're not in the game, how can you expect to win? If you're not in the game of trading, how can you expect to really use trading to elevate your life? So on that note, guys, thank you so much for giving us your time. And once again, bro, thank you so much for dropping amazing value. We'll love to hear any new nuggets in the future as well. But for now, thank you so much, and I'm going to end off the call. So appreciate everyone. Let's go.